This is Trap Stories, Episode 1. How I sold 2 ounces of green vegetables for $25,000 of solid gold coins. And in the end, I almost got in trouble with the law. Before I start, don't do this at home. This is just for entertainment purposes only. So to start off with a little backstory. This was quite a few years ago now. At the time, I was selling a lot of vegetables. No more explanation needed. So at this point in time, some kid messaged me. I didn't really talk to him much. He was kind of a loner type kid, stuck to himself, rapper type vibes. Anyways, he messaged me looking for a couple ounces of weed. But the problem was, he didn't have money to spend. I already didn't like the sounds of this. So he told me he wanted 2 ounces of fresh vegetables and a box of carrots. Now, I was taxing at the time. I was probably paying $40 an ounce. So $80 total on the vegetables, and I would charge about $200 for the box. And I'd get it at about 100. So he told me he had gold and silver coins, and like I said, I was skeptical. I asked him if he knew where I could sell them, and he said I could go to 7-Eleven and use it as real money, which didn't ended up being the case. So I worked out a price with him. $200 an ounce, so $400 total, plus the $200 box, which is $600. So he gave me $600 face value of gold coins and silver, mostly gold. He gave me 13 gold coins at $50 a piece, which is what was marked up. I don't know what that ends up being, but the rest he gave me in silver. And I went on with my day. Now later, I went and tried to spend them at 7-Eleven, and the guy looked at me like I had pence. So I didn't know what the heck I was gonna do. So I just kept them in my safe for later. And eventually, one day, I needed money. And I decided to go to the pawn shop. Now, this took a whole day, mind you. I got denied by at least 5 different pawn shops. And one guy tried to offer me $50 for all 13 gold coins. I wasn't even selling the silver at that time. I was just trying to get a baseline price just to see what, I could get for one. So eventually, later on in the day, I did find someone. And right then, he told me they were legit. He'd take 10% off the top. And he post-dated a check for a few days in the future so he could go see his gold guy and sell it. And he kept. And that all went flawless. And I went on with my life. Bought more vegetables. Anyways, a couple days later, this kid hit me back up. And said his grandmother was pissed. And I'm just mentioning this now. It's obviously that's where they came from. Why is this young kid have all this silver? Frankly, at the time, I didn't care. I just needed money. So I took it. The one silver lining is he didn't need the gold back. His grandmother only realized he took the silver. Yeah, you can call me a shitbag, whatever. Like I said, times were tough. So a lot of you fuckers would do the same. So, eventually we worked out a deal because at first I was pretty skeptical I was gonna get sent out at a cop. Like I said, I was selling vegetables. But they said they'd turn me in if I did nothing. So at first I blocked him. I was just not gonna do anything, but not better. As I did. Because I gave him his however many dollars. It was not a small sum, but not anywhere close to the gold coins. I think I forgot to say what the first pawn shop guy gave me. He gave me around $1,800 the first coin. It was COVID and gold started selling for, at this point, not a lot. But eventually I start selling, 2, 3 at a time for $100 a piece. And I actually did sell one of them to my grandfather for $50 because we're all poor over here, so gotta help about that. But yeah, it only lasted me like 6 months of balling. But you can only imagine what I spent it on. I'll let your mind wander on that note. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.